So, what really makes a great visual storyteller in today's world? It's not just about having fancy gear. It's a very specific mix of passion, solid training, and the right skills. Today, we're going to break down a real portfolio to see exactly what that formula looks like, the anatomy of a creative who's really going places. And let's start right at the heart of it. This line right here is from our case study, Eng Chai Chi. It's more than just an intro. It's their mission statement. And I want you to focus on that one word, passionate. That's the engine, right? It's the thing that drives everything else we're about to dive into. To really get the full picture, here's our roadmap. We'll start by defining what it means to be a visual storyteller. Then we'll see how the craft gets forged. After that, we'll look at the actual tools of the trade, the production toolkit, and the all-important collaborative mindset. And finally, we'll get to the good part, the proof of potential. Okay, first up, the visual storyteller. And let me tell you, this is way more than just a job title. It's an entire mindset that shapes every single creative choice. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, according to this portfolio, it's really a three-step process. You plan it, you capture it, and you edit it. But look at the end goal there, to communicate emotion, context, and meaning. The key takeaway is that the technology is always in service of the story. It's all about making your audience feel something. So you've got all this raw passion. How do you actually shape it into a professional skill set? Well, that brings us right to our second section, forging the craft through a solid education. This is where the heavy lifting happens. Ing Chai Chi is in a specialized program for video production. Think of this as the workshop, where all that passion we talked about gets molded and refined into a real professional craft. What really jumps out at me here is just how thorough this is. It covers the entire production pipeline, from the very first spark of an idea all the way to the final export. And because it's project-based, it means they're not just reading about it in a textbook, they're in there actually doing it. And that's how you really master the stuff. All right, with that foundation in place, a creative starts building their toolkit. And that leads us to Section 3, the essential hard skills you absolutely need to bring a vision to life. When you're on set, it really boils down to controlling what the audience sees and how they feel about it. Camera operation isn't just pointing and hitting record. It's about making deliberate, intentional choices with every shot. Lighting, like that classic three-point setup, is absolutely fundamental for creating depth and mood. And composition? That's the art of telling the viewer's eyes exactly where to look. And then we get to post-production, which is where the story truly comes together. And look at this toolkit. It's super modern. Of course, you need skills in an industry standard like Adobe Premiere Pro for those big, polished projects. But knowing a tool like CapCut, that shows a real understanding of how media works today. It means you can quickly create amazing content for social media, where everything is fast and mobile first. But look, having all the technical chops in the world doesn't guarantee success. Production is a team sport, 100%. So let's look at part 4, the collaborative mindset and those incredibly valuable soft skills. Honestly, this slide is just as important as the one with all the software logos. Teamwork, solid communication, and good time management, these are the skills that make sure projects actually get finished on time and on budget. They're what make you the person people want to work with again and again. And creative thinking, that's the secret sauce. Finding those unique, original ways to make a story even better. All right, so we've covered the passion, the training, and the toolkit. The final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle is the proof. That's Section 5, Proof of Potential, where we see all those skills in action. Just this number. And here's the payoff. 3rd place in a national-level photography competition backed by the Ministry of Education. This isn't just a school prize, folks. This is a huge external validation of their skill, showing they can take a complex theme like tangible heritage and create something powerful with it. And beyond the big awards, the proof is also right there in the day-to-day academic work. This is the training ground. The video projects are where skills like camera work and editing get sharpened. The photography work helps develop a keen eye for composition and telling a whole story in just one frame. Every single project is a building block. So, when you put it all together, that story-first attitude, the formal training, the technical toolkit, and these early wins, you get a really complete picture of an emerging creative. And it all leads to one very natural question. What comes next? And that brings us to the final piece of the anatomy, a crystal clear call to action. The portfolio builds up to this one logical conclusion. It's time to find internships and collaborations. This isn't just an ending, it's a strategic next step. It's about taking all of this potential and applying it in the real world, turning a promising student into a working professional. It's a focused, powerful, and smart way to wrap up any creative profile.